Hello everyone, my name is Nuzi Malik Dagnia and my student number is 23020403130. And in this video, I'm going to explain how I adopt this idea from my reference article by Tak Maneh and their team. So, into my own research on Duolingo used among Indonesian university students. And first of all, let me briefly explain the main point of the reference article by Tak Maneh and his team. Examine whether Duolingo could improve student vocabulary and how students feel about using the application. And they did a 6 weeks study with seven grade learners, comparing a group that used Duolingo with a group that learned through traditional textbook activity. And their results show that the Duolingo group performed much better in vocabulary, and the student enjoy using the application because it was simple, interactive, and fun. And even though the study was useful, it also had several weaknesses. All the participants were male students from only one school, so the finding cannot represent a wider population. The study also didn't explain how often the student use Duolingo or how long each session lasts. And this means we know the result, but we don't know how the learning actually happens. And they also focus only on short-term improvement without checking whether the vocabulary was remembered after a longer period. And this strength and weakness become the basis for how I adopt their work into my own research. So in their main finding, that Duolingo is effective for learning vocabulary, straying my decision on study Duolingo again, but in new context, in a university student in Indonesia. So I want to know whether older learners who study more independently will show similar improvement, and how their experiences might differ. And their conclusion about positive attitude also influenced my decision to explore student perception more deeply, because motivation and enjoyment are closely connected to how consistently learners use Duolingo. And at the same time, the limitation in their study helped me shape the improvement in my research design. Since the reference article didn't explain use pattern, I decided to measure them very clearly in my study, and then I collect information about how often students use Duolingo, how long they spend on each session, and how long their streak was, and also how engaged they were overall. And yeah, this is give a clear picture of how different use behavior affect vocabulary development. And I also improved the sample. Instead of using one small group, my participants come from different university and different backgrounds, and this makes my finding more representative for the Indonesian higher education context. And because the reference study only look at the short-term improvement, I add the reflective question to understand whether students feel that Duolingo helps them remember vocabulary over time. And in conclusion, the reference article provide a strong foundation for my research. I adopt their core idea that Duolingo is effective for vocabulary learning, but I explain it by using more diverse sample, collecting detailed use data, and exploring their long-term learning experiences, and then by building on their strength and improving their weakness. My research over a more complete understanding of how Duolingo support vocabulary learning among Indonesian university students. And I think that's all from me, and thank you for watching, and see you.